My life took an unexpected turn, and I need to share the mess I've made. Brace yourself. It's not a funny story like the ones I used to read here. It's a real roller coaster. So, here's my saga, and I appreciate your patience if it gets lengthy. Let me introduce myself. I'm not here to play the innocent card. Far from it. I've been the architect of my own chaos, and I'm finally coming to terms with it. The one I called my husband, a 43-year-old man, turned out to be quite the wicked character. I cheated on him, no denying that, and I'm ready for the judgments and curses this confession might bring. People will probably call me stupid and heartless. I used to read those comments on other posts, but now I'm the one in the hot seat. Our story began a decade ago when I, a 33-year-old woman, got married at 23. Life didn't go according to plan, but hey, whose life does? I met him in college when he, a technician, was fixing something. I didn't pay much attention at first. Technicians weren't exactly my type. But he persistently pursued, and despite my initial rejection, life pushed me to marry him. My family situation wasn't ideal. Financial struggles, a dad with a penchant for adding complications. You get the picture. I won't say I married for love. It was more about survival. My older brother, my lifeline at the time, hit a financial roadblock due to some shady dealings, leaving me stranded in college. Enter the technician-turned-husband. He saved the day, providing not just emotional support, but financial stability. I got my degree, landed a teaching job, and life moved forward. Fast forward to my teaching stint at an elementary school, where the cheating chapter unfolded. I found myself infatuated with a colleague. Yes, I know the backlash I'll face for admitting that. Married for a decade, my husband was 10 years my senior and didn't share my interests. I felt young, craving excitement. So, I went down the path of infidelity. I confess, I cheated, not because of how my husband treated me, but as a decision I made. It was about seeking thrill and escape, a selfish choice I own up to. The affair stayed under wraps, carefully hidden at my colleague's workplace. Life continued. I taught, my husband provided, and my secret love life flourished. My husband's attitude changed subtly, though. He stopped eating my meals, preferring takeout. Then came the day he used my phone to make a call, a moment that unraveled everything. A withdrawal notification of over $10,000 hit me like a ton of bricks. My 4-year savings wiped clean. I ran to the bank, assuming a scam, but reality struck harder. My husband orchestrated the grand theft, revenge for my infidelity. He discovered my cheating escapades through a friend at my partner's workplace. My colleague, aware of my cheating for a while, kept it hush to plan his revenge. The husband left, leaving me fuming with anger, worry, and an uncertain future. My marriage, already strained, seemed to teeter on the edge. That brings us to the present, 2 months since I bared my soul on Reddit. Comments flooded in, condemning me as the cheating opportunist of the century. People expressed disgust, while some empathized with my desperation. Here I am, tagged as the woman who ruined her marriage, left with $200, a pending divorce, and a journey toward rebuilding. Life threw curveballs, and I acknowledge my missteps. Cheating was my choice, but the heartless retaliation, the theft of my hard-earned savings, left me grappling with the aftermath. Divorce papers served, eviction looming, and my family disapproving, I find myself at a crossroads. Homeless, broke, and single, I'm navigating a process of self-recovery. It's a tough road, but I'm determined to get back on my feet, maybe learning to live life without shortcuts. Thank you to everyone who took the time to read my messy tale and share their thoughts. This isn't a Hollywood drama. It's my life, imperfect, messy, and on the path to redemption.
I've been through the ringer with relationships, and sharing this feels like diving back into the past. Let me take you on a journey through my messy love life, a tale of heartbreak, betrayal, and the unexpected twist that led me to my true love. So, buckle up. Many years ago, I had a girlfriend who pulled the rug from under me. Fast forward, I'm now happily married for over 20 years to my best friend, my rock. The road to this happiness, however, was paved with the wreckage of my past. I met my cheating ex right after a particularly rough breakup. We were together for about 2 years, and the trouble started swirling in about a year into our relationship. She went to the movies with friends, including her ex-boyfriend. The next day, she confessed that he had kissed her, and while she didn't encourage him, she didn't exactly shut him down either. Looking back, I should have called it quits then, but love, or whatever it was, clouded my judgment. We got back into our routine, but a couple of months later, as we both started college, things soured again. She befriended a ROTC guy who seemed to have eyes for her. I voiced my concerns, but she downplayed it. Eventually, in early November, we called it quits. The very next day, an old high school friend visited her at her dorm, and they fooled around. We were broken up, but the speed at which she moved on stung. Despite this, we decided to give our relationship another shot around Thanksgiving. Things seemed okay until I visited her at her college. She had hung out with the ROTC guy and others the night before, and my gut screamed trouble. I arrived earlier than expected and caught her with the ROTC guy in her dorm. She spun a tale about him sleeping in her bed while she sat in her chair, a story I reluctantly bought. I stayed the weekend, choosing to believe her version of events. Our relationship limped along through Christmas break, but in early March she dropped the bombshell that the ROTC guy asked her to a military ball. I laid down my discomfort, explicitly telling her it wasn't okay. She assured me she wouldn't go. However, on the day of the dance, my mom was hospitalized, and when I called her dorm, her roommate claimed she was at work and heading to the ball later. A shocking contradiction that set off alarms. Later that night, I discovered she had lied and attended the dance. I confronted her, but she managed to manipulate the situation, and we stayed together for a little longer. The inevitable breakup happened when I found out about another guy she had fooled around with, separate from the ROTC drama. Her mom called me expressing regret for what happened. Her parents and mine had been friends for years, which added another layer of complexity. 3 weeks post-breakup, I found solace at my sister's apartment. And then, fate took a twist. Enter my now wife, a friend of my sister's roommate, sitting on the porch. A week or so later, we started dating. Word got to my ex about my new relationship, and she gave my best friend grief for not informing her. A pointless expectation, given the circumstances. Summer came, and my ex and I were once again in proximity. She took a job at a local grocery store, and during one visit, she flaunted her flirty side with male co-workers. The tables turned when I walked in with my now wife, who turned heads with her stunning appearance. My ex was left speechless, and I relished the moment. My ex attempted to reach out for friendship, but I shut it down, uninterested in keeping ties after the pain she caused. Meanwhile, she dated ROTC boy, who she would eventually get engaged to. But that didn't last. My wife and I got married 3 months after college graduation, welcoming 4 children since then. She remains the love of my life, caring, intelligent, and still hot as hell. My ex moved on, marrying a guy her height, 5'5", and starting her own little world. They seem happy, and we've exchanged pleasantries, especially during tough times like her dad's battle with cancer. Reflecting on this journey, I realize I wouldn't be who I am today without these experiences. The heartbreak, the cheating, it all led me to true love. It hurt, and I may not know the full extent of the betrayal, but meeting my wife was like graduating from the minors to the big leagues of love. I'm grateful for the twists and turns that brought me here, where I truly understand the meaning of love. Hey everyone, so here's the deal. Back in 2019, I stumbled upon some unsettling information about my wife's past. I had this gut feeling, Checked her phone and found her chatting with her ex-boyfriend on Snapchat for the past 1 to 2 years. No flirting, but lots of constant communication. She even changed his name on Snapchat to hide it from me. When I confronted her, she admitted to this emotional affair, claiming they never met in person. We fought about it for weeks, but it somehow got buried and unresolved. Fast forward to 2020, we got engaged, and in 2021 we tied the knot. Life seemed good, no suspicions, everything peachy. She got pregnant, and in 2022 we welcomed our son into the world. Now let's zoom in on August 2023. That gut feeling crept back in. I'd sporadically check her phone, finding nothing suspicious. Then, during a conversation, she calls me Matt, a name I have no connection to whatsoever. She insists she doesn't know a Matt, and that I'm nuts. Juggling work schedules and parenting, I couldn't dig deeper into this oddity. Every time I brought up the name, she'd get defensive and angry. So, one night, with the stars aligned, I delved into her computer connected to her phone since 2015. The messages, dating back to early 2016, seemed clean, but the archived ones, starting late 2015, unveiled a whole different story. Messages between her and the ex started a month after we began dating, continuing until they shifted to Snapchat in 2017. The archive was like a time capsule, capturing snippets of "I miss you," "I was so happy with you," and "I was going to hold out for you." No outright flirting, but the emotional affair stretched over 4 years. They talked about meeting up, but left no concrete proof they actually did. She also vented about me to him during this time. In my detective journey, I logged into her Facebook and checked her activity log. Lo and behold, after the Matt incident, she deleted a Matt from her friends list who, upon investigation, worked at the same hospital as her. Armed with this info, I confronted her. She played the "I don't remember" card, apologized, and said it was too long ago. Unsatisfied, I pressed for answers. It took some tears on my part, a rarity in our 8 years together, to make her take it seriously. When Matt came up, she initially claimed not to know him and called me crazy. But when I dropped the bomb that he worked at the same hospital, suddenly, she remembered adding him for a coworker and casually deleted him during a friends list cleanup. Smelling BS, I called her out on it. We fought for days, but eventually I decided I needed a break. Knowing she wouldn't admit anything without evidence, I snooped into her Google search history. She had Googled "what to do after you cheat," and the websites she visited advised not disclosing information to avoid making the spouse even angrier. When I confronted her about this, she dismissed it as something she did long ago and didn't even bother reading the websites. A bit of background. I grew up in a single-parent household, visiting my dad on weekends, and I promised myself I wouldn't raise my kids like that. Living with my girlfriend for 3 years now, and things have been okay, or so I thought. We're both close to our families, and she spends a lot of time with them, which never bothered me until recently. I've noticed some odd behavior between her and her brother, 26M. Late in the game to be discovering this, but apparently it happens more often than I thought in families. We're both introverted and prefer staying in, but when her brother invites her out, she dresses up way better than she ever does when we go out, and she always agrees without hesitation. Lately, she's been crashing at his place more frequently, showing up at home in clothes borrowed from him. When I'm around them, she seems touchy-feely with him, and the way she makes eye contact gives me the creeps. How do I bring this up with her? Am I crazy for even thinking this could be happening? Quick update. Yes, he's her real brother. I've been to family functions with them, and I've thought about her using him as an alibi, but they always prove they're together. Their outings are labeled as siblings night, excluding me, with the promise of an invitation another time. I don't get why she spends the night at his place, considering he lives alone and is currently single. Maybe they're too drunk to get her home, but the bars and clubs are a short Uber ride from our place. I hesitate to leave because our lives are intertwined, and things, especially now, are expensive. Just moving out isn't easy. I plan to talk to her tonight after work, express my feelings, and voice my concerns without accusing her of anything with her brother. Thanks for all the responses. Another update. Thanks for the advice, everyone. I won't confront her tonight. I agree that I need solid evidence before making a move. Following her is too much for me, but going through her phone is a possibility, although it feels invasive. I don't want to ask her directly to check her phone. Any other suggestions? Update. I went through her phone when she got home, and it's a mess. She's talking to multiple men, going to her brothers to sleep with them. The texts between her and her brother are unsettling, with him calling her sexy and even sending pictures of her in a bikini. I don't know if they're sleeping together, but it's a messed up relationship either way. I'm hurt, and I don't know what to do next. Just wanted to update quickly before deleting my account.